Some islands appear on maps, but some are quietly removed. In the early years of the 20th century, a small, isolated island in the middle of a vast ocean became the site of a classified military operation. Officially, it was described as a routine training exercise. Unofficially, it became something else. Dozens of soldiers were deployed there, young, trained, disciplined. Their mission details were restricted. Communication was limited. And then, without warning, contact was lost. At first, commanders assumed equipment failure, storm interference, radio malfunction. But when days passed with no signal, concern turned into alarm. A recovery ship was dispatched. When it arrived, the island looked untouched. No signs of battle, no smoke, no distress signals. The barracks were still standing. Equipment was neatly arranged. Rations were half-eaten. Rifles were stacked against the wall. It looked as if the soldiers had simply stood up and walked away. But into where? The search teams combed every inch of the island. Dense forest, rocky cliffs, underground storage areas. Nothing. No bodies. No footprints leading to the shore. No damaged boats. No enemy presence. It was as if an entire unit had vanished from existence. Official reports labeled the incident as a logistical failure. The public was never given details. Families were told their sons were lost during training complications. But internal documents, declassified decades later, told a more disturbing story. The island had not just been a training site. It had been selected for its isolation. And for something else. Before the soldiers were deployed, experimental equipment had reportedly been transported there under heavy secrecy, crates marked with warning symbols, scientific personnel accompanying military staff. The mission was not just training, it was testing. Some researchers believe the operation involved experimental communication technology. Others suggest environmental or psychological trials. But there are darker theories. Fishermen from nearby waters later reported strange fog rolling over the island during that same week. Thick, unnatural, lingering for hours. One claimed he saw flashes of light through the mist. Another said the air felt heavy, like before a storm. Military logs from that period contain a single chilling entry. Phase 3 initiated. There is no record of Phase 1 or 2. After the disappearance, the island was abruptly declared restricted territory. Navigation routes were altered. Maps were updated. Within a few years, the island's name quietly faded from common charts. Today, satellite imagery shows little more than dense vegetation and crumbling structures. But the mystery remains. If the soldiers had been attacked, there would have been evidence. If they had deserted, there would have been escape attempts. If nature had claimed them, there would have been remains. Instead, there was silence. Some believe the soldiers were exposed to something experimental, something that went wrong. Others whisper about classified weapons tests, or attempts to manipulate human perception under extreme conditions. And then there are those who believe the island itself was never the true target. Perhaps the soldiers weren't meant to survive the test. Perhaps the test was never meant to be revealed. Governments have erased files before. They have sealed archives. They have rewritten narratives. But complete disappearance? That leaves questions no report can fully answer. To this day, no confirmed explanation exists. No memorial stands on that island. No public acknowledgement marks the coordinates. Only the wind through abandoned structures. And the unanswered question, what really happened on the island where soldiers vanished? Because sometimes, history doesn't record what was lost. It buries it.